Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon back for another event video here on Marvel Strike Force. Now, today we're going to be talking about Hank Pym and his Quantum Disco event, which I feel like this may be the longest we've waited between an offer release and a character's free-to-play event. Now, we obviously know that this is because they wanted to gate Hank Pym away from Captain Britain, and so they didn't want his free-to-play event to be within the time frame of Captain Britain's release. Either way, I'm kind of glad that this is kind of the end of the Illuminati saga, and after this, we can kind of move on. That being said, it's really important that you do as well as you can in this event because there's going to be some important purple ISO rewards that are going to be in here, which is going to help you on your way to Odin and Dark Dimension 8, which we'll be talking about more in this video. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Oh, you were here for Hank Pym. No, I'm just kidding. So it's just really quick, just some subliminal reminders that the Old Man Logan event is starting tomorrow. So if you haven't got all your characters that you need or whatever you're going to be doing for this event, if they're not ready, make sure you are, because Old Man Logan's stars are going to be really important to Hank Pym's event Quantum Disco and his yellow stars. So depending on whether or not, if you're able to get a 6 or 7 yellow Old Man Logan, you're going to get some bonus points for this event. That's going to be very important. Actually, you do get some points, I believe, just for using him. So for better or for worse, do what you can to get either Old Man Logan unlocked or the 6 to 7 yellow star range, because this is really going to help you be able to pick up some more purple ISO resources towards this event's leaderboard. Sorry, no, they're not leaderboard. Excuse that. I just mean the milestones. But let's jump ahead. And so before we get into the math, I want to do a recap of where we are for this month long. This one is going to be a little bit more interesting because it seems that we're not going to be as surplusy as we normally are. So I know we don't have everything, but we do have week 3's Quantum Disco and Quick Rumble, and the next week we have Diamond Claws, and we can kind of guess the Alliance events have been the same as far as the points go, and Quick Rumbles have been the same. So we just don't know how many points are going to be awarded in Diamond Claws, but we're about 67,000 away from the 800K. So that tells me that, if, let's, for example, Diamond Claws is like 100K, it's not going to be as much surplus as it normally is, because in July, we had a surplus of almost 100,000. So for better or for worse, things might be a little bit tighter this time around. So hopefully you've been keeping up with events, and otherwise, it won't be a problem as long as you've been doing things right and following my videos in terms of what you should be doing. So let's talk about, I started at the bottom, Quantum Disco, right? This is the 7-day event involving ISO 8 energy, war and bonus points with Old Man Logan, and Alliance donations. Now, I do want to start really quickly, however, we're going to go into full screen mode with the chart again, so you can see the radioactive treats and the disco balls here on the right-hand side, and you can also see the Hank Pym shards. So there's 5 here, 15, 30, 45, 60, 80 Hank Pym shards. So there's 80 Hank Pym shards, and there's going to be a couple of these orbs. Now, I find this really interesting because they haven't designed this event in a vacuum. So they've assumed that you've managed to pick up some of your Hank Pym shards along the way, with those Pym Pal orbs or whatever the hell they were, right? Those chances of getting Hank Pym shards. Now, I will admit that, yes, I got super lucky the fact that I have a 4-star Hank Pym before his event has even gone live. So I did get a 100 drop. I also got a 50 drop, and I think there may have been some selections of 10s along the way. So I got super, super lucky. But they've kind of assumed that you're, I guess, somewhere within the 50 to 60 shard range at this point. Anyways, my alt account, I believe, is at 55. So yeah, that's why the amount of shards that you're going to be getting in this event is going to cap out at 80 in the shards. And there's going to be 3 of these Quantum Hank Orbs, which you're going to get from the web milestone, which is involving Alliance credits. Now, this part is super easy. 2,500 credits is super easy. It's like, honestly, I think the 4 boxes plus your donation within 5 or 6 days. It's very easy to do. You could probably do this with 3 boxes, honestly, over 7 days. Super easy. So, we don't really need to go into big detail. But if you add up all of this, I believe this comes out to 3 orbs. So not very many. I don't know what the estimated value of the Quantum Hank orb is, so you're going to get up to 80 shards in the milestone and then 20 or maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a total of 100 over the 3 orbs, but either way, they're kind of expecting you to already have Hank Pym shards at this point. But what's going to be really important is hopefully you've been listening to me about holding onto your ISO 8 energy, because you're going to be able to use that in conjunction with Old Man Logan points to get further. You can probably get as far as milestone 17 if you have a 7 yellow Logan, and that's a lot of extra radioactive treats. And you can also see that they're using class orbs, so support ISO orb fragments, because Hank Pym is a support character. Not that I'm saying that you should be using this on Hank Pym, it's just that's how they're rewarding the milestones, it seems. And then there's some direct purple T3 ions in here as well. But anyways, all this stuff in here. So let's just jump back to the math here and talk about that. So total event milestone points required is 250,000. This obviously includes the whale stones. The event item is at 69,000 points, which is milestone 13. So that's going to be largely the goal for like people who haven't hoarded, the free to play, or the people who don't have Old Man Logan at high stars. That's kind of your goal. The total reasonable radioactive treats for this same range, is going to be about 110,000. This is actually very similar to the points for radioactive prep, which is also 110,000 for the reasonable range. This is like, the easy free to play kind of range, not the hoarding and the bonus points kind of stuff. Now, we don't know what the free claim is going to be. There is 80 Hank Pym shards at 83,000 milestone points for all of that. So do keep that in mind, that if you do want those extra 20 Hank Pym shards, that you do need to go about 14,000 milestone points above the event item. Now, the web milestone does give you quite a bit. You're getting 36,000 points total. You're getting 6,000 orb fragments, and you get 2,000 points every time you open an orb. So there's 3 orbs, you're going to get 6,000 points. And then 30k direct milestone points. So 36,000 milestone points and 20,000 treats on top, which is included, however, in there. So it's not 110 plus 20. I've included that in there, I'm pretty sure. And then to get that is the Alliance credits. Super easy. Don't really need to worry about that. As long as you have, 18 plus members in your Alliance, you should be able to do this with no problem. You do get 2 points per ISO 8 energy spent. And I know that some people don't like this because there's no leaderboard anymore. They scrapped the leaderboard. There used to be a leaderboard that was going to reward Hank Pym Diamonds and G19 Mutant Minis, and that's gone. Now the Hank Pym Diamonds are actually in the Annihilator Showcase, which starts on Tuesday, I think. And I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did. And this is going to be a topic of another video later on, but they seem to have scrapped the G19 mini leaderboards. So I know that people were used to getting those for the 1 to 3% and whatnot. I think those leaderboards have now been scrapped in favor of purple ISO, because at least for the next 6 weeks anyways, because all of the data mines, especially the one for the Diamond Claws event, has suggested there's no talk about G19 minis anywhere in the data mines at all. It's just purple ISO stuff, which is probably going to be a controller one for Logan, right? So that's what I would expect, and kind of similar to what it is for radioactive prep right now. So if you're kind of working your way towards Dark Dimension 7 and Mephisto, it's going to be a lot harder because these G19 mini leaderboards aren't around anymore. So you're going to have to spend a crap ton more gold to get that stuff back. But anyways, the war battles is 36,000 points. Now that's equivalent to 24 war battles, or 8 per war. Or you could do this, I suppose, in 2 wars worth 12. You do get 5,000 points for using Old Man Logan. I put this in the blue, which means that I am expecting people to do this, so I'm including this in the reasonable score down below. However, I will not do that for 6 and 7 yellow, but if you do have this, then it's going to make a huge difference for you to be able to push more of these milestones to get more purple ISO, ions, radioactive treats, and all that stuff, right? So an additional 10,000 and then 15,000 more. So it is additive. So if you have a 7 yellow Old Man Logan, you're going to get a bonus 25k. Which is quite a bit. Open quantum Hank orbs. Again, it's just like the 3 from the web milestone. They very well could be in the free claims though, but regardless, unless you form a full orb, I think they might just give you the milestone points, unless they're really generous on their free claims. Like, I don't know. Anyways, and the total ISO 8 energy. So this is how much you get per day, typically at 200 cores daily, and that's equivalent to about 1,130. Times it by 2, you're going to be getting about 2,260. So I'm expecting that people do the 200 cores daily, at least through the event, to get you the 16,000 points over the 7 days. Now, I do have a scenario down below about what happens, if you have saved quite a bit. So the reasonable milestone points, if you have just Old Man Logan and you're doing the 200 cores, you'll get to about 93,000. So that's almost milestone 15, which is actually pretty good. So that is going to get you the 83,000 that you need for the 80 Hank Pym shards. And with the free claim, that will probably get you to milestone 15 because that one is going to be 97,000. So you might be very close, in which case I would push your ISO 8 energy a little bit further just to get that milestone 15, because what you're going to get out of that, you're going to get 30,000 ions, but you're going to get, what is it? Sorry, I got cross-eyed for a second there. Milestone 15, 40,000 more radioactive treats, which might not sound like a lot, but, if you don't have to put too much more effort into that, then, you should. And if you have a 6 yellow Logan or anything higher than that, you're absolutely getting that anyways. Now, the milestone points for Old Man Logan 7 yellow is going to be about milestone 16. And if you do 7 yellow Logan plus, that you hoarded your energy like I did, right? Like I'm recording this a little bit in advance. I'm hoping that by the time Monday goes around that I have about 5,000 plus ISO 8 energy. I'm recording this on early Saturday, actually. So hopefully I will have a lot more to use on that event. And then that will get me to milestone 17 with the free claim, which is a lot of extra stuff. Just, to let you guys know, like what the difference between 15, 16, and 17 is. If you get 17, you're getting about 290,000 extra cheats total with 6 support ISO orbs and 110,000 purple ions. So that's milestone 15, 16, and 17 lumped together. But 17 itself is really good, right? Milestone 17 has 150,000 radioactive treats, 2 more support ISO orbs, and 40,000 purple ions. So really, really good. These orbs have an estimated value of 4 crystals, so that's going to be pretty important going forward as well. Just the accumulation of all this stuff. Also, who's a support? Apocalypse is a support character, right? So you can use some of this towards him. You can open it up. Once you have these orbs, you might as well open them because you can't use these specific orbs cannot be used towards other classes. It's just the generic ones that you can use on any of the classes. Those ones I recommend hoarding, but these class ones, you can open them up as you get them. So final notes for this event, and I didn't finish my my light blue shading, but anyways, the Old Man Logan points are very important. So his trial will be running this week on Monday, so try to push his star rank up ASAP. And what's really important too is understanding your war days, right? And so I guess your chances of getting Old Man Logan points is going to be dependent on when your last war day is for the week. Because if there's no war available, then you can't squeeze in these bonus points. So make sure you don't like dilly-dally too long in doing your Old Man Logan trials. Make sure you get that in early so that you can get those star ranks and use them to get the bonus points as early as possible. Otherwise, hopefully you've saved some ISO 8 energy for this event to be able to push those extra milestones. And with the Old Man Logan bonus points and the ISO 8 spending, there's a good chance you can climb some of these extra milestones. And obviously, purple ISO is very important towards the future of DD8 and unlocking Odin. So that's going to be the end of this event video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. How are you going to be pushing for this event, and are you ready? I mean, it's just every week is going to be more treats, going to be more ISO 8 stuff that's going to be relevant towards Odin and Dark Dimension 8. Honestly, I think this is going to be the quickest DD in history. I was going to say DD8. I mean, it is DD8, but I have a different video for that because we need to kind of talk a little bit about what DD8 actually is. I feel like it's Dark Dimension in name only at this point, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be entering DD8 when it goes live compared to when DD7 came out. That's just my thoughts. There'll be an actual separate video on that in the days to come. But anyways, that's it for now, everyone, and stay safe and healthy. Until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.